Hi and welcome to video 2 in the DHM series. We're going to pick up where we left off after the first video. So let's add on some new tasks, some new stories onto this. Let's create some new user stories. My first story is going to be create basic Django app. Next, it will be add poll to Django. Then I need a build process, a build pipeline, and I also need a release pipeline. So that's my plan. I'm going to have 4 user stories as part of this particular feature for a most basic application. Now if I switch down one level to my stories, I'll see that I now have 4 stories in there, and I can see that there's a build pipeline, a release pipeline, different components in there. I'm actually going to add some tasks into these. So my basic Django app, that's going to have a few tasks. I'm going to have a task in there for set up virtual env on WSL for DHM app. I'm going to have use Django template for basic web app. At that point, I think I'm going to leave it with only 2 tasks in that particular one. Now this one I'm going to split down into just 2 tasks as well. Add poll app. Add poll routing to main app. Now my build pipeline, I'm going to add a task to create. Going to add a task to prototype using classic editor. Build for Python. Going to add a task to convert prototype to YAML pipeline, and my final feature is going to be add release stages to YAML multi-stage pipeline. Now I may change my mind about some of those pieces later on, but for the moment that seems like a good place to start. Now if we have a look at this, I'm going to bring my first user story, creating a basic Django app, across into active. You notice this doesn't change any of the statuses of the tasks that are under it. Those tasks I need to go and look at the sprints. If I have a look at those, they're still unassigned, so I could assign these tasks to different people if I needed to. Now I'm working as a solo engineer on this particular project, but you could see how you could divide up this work into different people. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring across set up virtual env on WSL for DHM app. Do you know what? There's another step I forgot to get down here. Just going to add a new one in here. Clone repo to WSL. So let's bring that across to active, and we will go across to here, and we can see that I've got my GitHub's project directory, so I can come back to my DHM project, clone it, using SSH because I've set up my SSH keys. we shall clone that repo in. And we've pulled that repo in, so we should be able to cd into DHM, and we can see we've got a folder. And if we look at it, we can see we've already got a git ignore file and a license file. So next we're going to create ourselves a virtual env. In this folder, and then we can source /home sam projects GitHub. Say row DHM env bin activate. We have Python 3 running. At this point, we've got our repo down. So I'm going to consider that resolved. That done. We have created ourselves a virtual env. So we've got that done. And we've now got to build a Django template for the basic web app. It's going to move that across to active. So now we're going to create our basic template for the web application. I'll go back to my command. So we have to install Django into this environment. So we're going to do a pip install Django. Okay, so we have Django installed. I'm now going to go in Django admin create site DHM. Start project DHM. So I now have a folder called DHM, which if I cd into it, I shall see my manage.py and the DHM folder further down as well. Now I can go up one level and enter into VS Code in this directory. So I can open this folder up in VS Code. And we have the folders here for DHM, manage, etc. And if I switch to using the terminal in here, I can see that I have my virtual env there, so I can do my source. Env bin activate. Now I can change the DHM directory and I can do a Python manage run server. And that will start my server running on the remote machine. I can open up that port and I have a basic Django application running. I can stop that application at that point, and if I go up one more level, quickly check that out, do a git status. I've added the DHM folder, git add dot git commit -m basic Django application. Origin master. Not using a branching strategy right now. I'm running everything, I'm committing straight to the master branch. So there is only me developing right this second, and we'll get on to branching strategies in a little bit. At that point, I can go to my Git repo, refresh that page. I now have my basic Django application up there called DHM. Notice the end folder hasn't come up because that's part of my git ignore, so that won't be there. And if I go to my task, I can move that across into closed.